Good morning. I just got done working out, but I wanted to share with you guys all a great mobility circuit or routine that you can do first thing in the morning that is really good for getting your body just ready to move for the day. It would be great for any time of the day, before or after a workout, but there are certain things that we just shouldn't do first thing in the morning after we've been sleeping. Um, Going right into things where we're going to be bent over. We want to kind of open up our bodies and get our spines back into alignment, open up our chest and get that core activated, open up our hips. So I'm going to take you guys through a handful of exercises. Got my coffee here because it is 6 a.m. But I'm going to take you through a handful of mobility exercises. Some of these you guys probably already know. I've probably already given them to you as a part of your workout. It's on my YouTube channel, but this will be a great spot where you can just click on this video and turn it on and just do a mobility circuit with me, whether it's first thing in the morning or before a workout or after a workout. Or at the end of the day, you know, you've been sitting at a desk all day or you've been chasing little kids around. So this first one is called my sideline Tspine mobility. You're going to lay on your side like this. My hands are together. I'm going to bring this leg straight out. I even like to, I don't have one right now, but to put like a medicine ball or a foam roller under my knee just to open my hip up a little bit more so I'm not kind of putting some torque on my hip. Another way you can prevent that is bringing that heel all the way to your leg. And I'm going to lay down and I'm going to rotate open and close. Some people will call this open and close the book. You want to stay on your side. Make sure that you're on your hip, and make sure your head follows your hand. So you're rotating your neck as well. I'm going to do 5 more of these. And you should feel nice kind of rotation at your upper spine or your thoracic spine. Really important to have appropriate thoracic rotation through your spine, because if you don't have it there, your body will try to find it in other places, like your low back, which is not meant to rotate. I believe your low back or your lumbar spine has only about a 3 degree or percent rotation. Don't quote me on that one, but main thing is it's not supposed to rotate. And if it keeps trying to rotate because you're not getting it at your thoracic spine, you'll have some low back pain and discomfort. I'm going to do 5 more of these. Whenever I'm doing a mobility circuit, I usually do like 10 to 20 of each exercise. I might go through it once, I might go through it twice. If I'm not doing anything else that day, I might go through it 3 times. The last one right here. All right, so that's my thoracic rotation. The next one I'm going to do is some back extension. These are called press-ups. So I'm going to roll over on my back. Hands are going to be about shoulders to start and see how that feels. I'm just going to press up and lock my arms out. My eyes are going to look straight forward, and then I'm going to come back down. Okay. If you cannot get to this position with keeping your hips on the floor, then what you can do is move your hands up a little bit higher towards your eyes and do it that way. Okay. So you want to be able to lock your arms out, and you want to be able to keep your hips on the floor. And we're not going to hold it too long in that position. We're just going to kind of go up. So for like a 1, 2, exhale, and down. Let's do 3 more of these. So last one here. Okay, so I'm going to come to all fours. I'm crazy here. I'm going to be on all fours here. Hands are under my chest, knees are under my hips. I got my feet flexed. So this is considered a 6-point position. Notice 2 hands, 2 knees, 2 feet. And I'm just going to do some rocking. I'm going to sit my butt back towards my heels. I'm going to actually open my hips up about hip width, and then a rock. And this is actually going to mimic a squat, but you'll notice that it doesn't feel the same as your squat because it's much more gentle. Just opening up those hips. I'm going to exhale as I sit. And again, I'm going to kind of pause in my squat position and rock back and forth. So that last one here, I'm going to roll over to my back and we're going to do a glute bridge, which is going to work hip extension, okay? Which is really important because most of us have been laying on our side, kind of in a flex position, kind of all curled up like this. And so our glute bridge is going to kind of stretch out your low back, get your butt and your hamstrings activated for the day. So feet about hip width apart. Notice my low back is on the floor. I don't want there to be a big arch between your low back and the floor. We're going to take our hips and we're going to rotate them down into the floor. My ribs are down. They're not flared out like this, but I got my belly button drawn in. My ribs are down. I'm going to bridge up and I'm going to pause at the top. You don't want to hyperextend to where you're pushing your tummy out and your ribs are flaring, but just a nice neutral spine. So I'm going to do 10 of these. And I pause at the top each time so I can get a nice squeeze at my glutes and hamstrings. Two more. Last one. Okay, this next one, you're going to stay in this position, but we're going to bring our knee to our chest, my toe, and I'm going to do, these are called supine leg extension. So you're going to feel a good stretch through your tight hamstrings. We're activating our quads, so these muscles on the front of our leg, around our knee. You may even start to feel those burning as you're doing this, but the goal is to try to get that leg locked out straight. If your hamstrings are super tight, you won't be able to do that. That's okay. That's why we're doing it. This has got to be one of my favorite exercises. It feels so good. And this one I usually do higher reps. I usually do about 20 of these, but for today, we're just going to do about 3 more. 1, 2, 3. Okay, legs. Losing my headphone here, I think. All right, same thing on this side. Ooh, this one's a little tighter, which is common. Most people have one side of their body that runs a little bit tighter than the other. Do 5 more of these. 2. All right, and then the last one that I'm going to show you is, these are called, it's like an internal external rotation for your hips, okay? So I've got this leg bent in almost like a 90 degree, and this one, and my hands are behind me, and I'm going to rotate them from side to side, trying to touch my knees to the floor. So notice I'm not shifting my upper body at all. It's all through the hips. And you may find that challenging at first, but I encourage you to keep working it, whatever you can do. I'll give you another angle here. Notice I'm flipping them over to this side. And I definitely feel different on each side here. I know, like this on my left glute is really, really restricted. If you can't get your knees to the floor, then you notice that you have some pretty tight hip flexors. Now, if that was super easy for you, then you can take your butt off the floor and keep your butt off the floor. So you're holding your hips up, and this is going to give you some more hip extension while you're doing the external and internal rotation. if you're somebody who sits a lot, then this is going to be a great exercise for you. But again, these are all great for first thing in the morning of just getting you back into alignment and kind of opening up the things that need to be opened up. So you can go back to the start of that. So we did a sideline Tspine mobility. We rolled over and did a press up. We hopped up to all fours and did those rocking squats back and forth. Rolled over to our back, did our glute bridges up and down, then a supine leg extension, and back up to these internal, external rotations for our hips. So if you want to go ahead and do another round of that, then just push stop on the video and start it over and go through all of that again. So hope that helps you guys all. We really minimize how important and how much better we can feel when we're doing some mobility. So if you have some low back pain, if you're feeling really tight, then use this video as a resource. I will be posting more to come and adding to that list of mobility exercises. Talk to you soon.